What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Cup of Nations 2022 edition. Um, we're now into the playoffs finally, so I thought I'd go ahead and commentate my playoff game, my first round playoff game. There are definitely some other really intriguing matchups, especially the Tilla Ragnar game, which I'll definitely commentate when that happens. I could also commentate some ones from the previous couple rounds, but being in the group stage, actually, I will probably commentate my games against the Sarah. Those were pretty good. But other than that, like the group stage matches aren't really that important. But playoff matches obviously are. So the playoffs are best of 5 double elimination. So you have to lose 2 series to be out. So the loser of this game or this series will not be eliminated. They'll just be sent to the lower bracket. But you want to be in the upper bracket, obviously. So pretty important. Numidia versus Rome, pretty interesting matchup. Perhaps after the battles we can go into like sort of what I expected or what some possible armies are for both sides. But let's, without further ado, just go right into the actual games. So pretty interesting armies from both sides, I would argue. Um, my army, I think, is something that you may have even seen in other commentary videos. Like all my armies look pretty similar. Rome doesn't have the most options. Um, but you know, you got a pretty standard army, but Numidia can go for elite infantry, and that's what he's gone for. He's gone for a lot of infantry spam. They don't. You can go for the good Jav Cav, but you can only bring 2 Jav Cavs, so there's not a whole lot of power in that regard. You can bring Peltis, you can bring Slingers, you can bring Shock Cav, regular Cav, Elephants even. So a lot of options for Numidia, which makes it hard to predict. What is he gonna go for? So let's first go over my army. I've got 2 Numidians out here on the flanks. You have to bring Javcav against Numidia, otherwise you're just going to be struggling to flank or, do anything really because the enemy Javcav will just lock you out. So obviously I've gone for 2 Numidians of my own, knowing he can only bring 2 Javcav, there's no point in bringing more. My main infantry line consists of 2 Veteran Legionnaires, 1 Avocati cohort, um, 3 Astadi, it's pretty much very standard, 2 Triarii, 1 Vigiles. So, 5 heavy infantry if you count the Triarii, 3 cheaper infantry with the Stadi, 1 fodder unit in the Vigiles. I have gone for 2 Saki Equiche Extraordinarii in my Cav force, and that's because I know he can bring Shock Cav of his own, but the Armored Numidian Riders will get pretty heavily countered by the Saki Equiche's Extraordinarii because they're very heavy. The Numidian Riders are heavy. 40 armor here, 60 armor here, 100 health versus 90 health. So pretty much all the stats and charge 60 versus charge 57. So they have slightly worse charge, but that's not really a big deal compared to the better health, better armor, and better mass. So they're really a hard counter to Shock Cav, and if the enemy has Shock Cav, you want Shock Cav of your own so you don't get fucked up in the Cav department. For example, if I only brought regular Equites and Saki Equites, wherever he charged me with his Shock Cav, I would lose a lot of Cav there, and it wouldn't really be that good of a trade for me. So good to bring 2 Shock Cav, plus it'll help me, YOLO charge into his infantry, because he can only bring 5 melee infantry, but they can be quite strong, as we'll see in a second here. Um, I also have 3 Syrian archers. This is pretty standard. Shoot Cav, focus infantry units. Syrians are good for it. And then I have the Legatus General, obviously, so nothing much there. So, that's my army. Let's look at his army. He's got 2 Gaetuli horse skirmishers, so not going for the elite Numidian or armored Numidian Cav, which I was expecting, but okay, it's fine. You don't have to do this. These guys are just like 380 cost Numidians, so that he saves a lot of money in the Jab Cav fight against me because these guys Numidians cost 550, so he's basically saving 320 talents to have equal Jab Cav forces, and that's money saved, so you can't really blame him for it. And it allows him to put extra money into other things, whereas I'm losing money, so. And I also have the Legatus, so I'm losing a lot in those 3 units, but Rome have generally better units than Numidia, so it's maybe not so bad. His main force here, he has 4 Tribal Slingers, pretty standard stuff. I'm just going to slow it down because the engagement might start soon. 4 Tribal Slingers, so he's not going for Peltists, but Slingers are good. A lot of ammo, not worth my Syrians shooting them. Can focus out Cav and stuff, so not really a big problem. He's got 1 Numidian Spearman here, 2 Armored Numidian Spearmen, 2 Numidian Noble Infantry. These guys do have javelins. They only cost like 1,080 or something. They're pretty good for the cost. I actually want to compare them to Triarii real quick. I just think that's the best. Actually, first let's compare them to the Armored Numidian Spears. 28, 26, 15, 28, 26. So much better. Attack, 29. I like attack and weapon damage, and bonus versus large even is better. That's pretty cool. 28 charge versus 29 charge, similar charge, 63, 75, 65. So yeah, better health, but the other stats like melee defense and armor pretty similar. Um, and then 70 morale is pretty insane. 50 morale in the armor division spear. So pretty good stats on these guys. They have shield screen, square, cavalry counter tactics. Cavalry counter tactics on such an elite unit, pretty rare. So pretty nice to have that. Um, but compared to Triarii, even like 31, 29, 20, slightly better attack than Triarii, much better, or like 5 better charge, slightly worse defense, but nothing to scoff at. 95 armor on the Triarii though versus 75, and 65 health and 65 morale. So pretty similar. So the Triarii stack up pretty closely um, to the Numidian Noble Infantry. They don't cost too much less, so to be fair, it's probably about right. And they also have javelins, the Numidian Nobles do, so that's pretty nice. So it's an interesting idea to go for this, but when we look at the meat of his army, he's got Desert Cohort and 4 Desert Legionaries. With these 2 Noble Infantry, with these 2 Armored Numidians, that's really 5, 7, 9 Heavy Infantry, with the 1 Numidian Spearman, which is obviously a fodder unit. So that's a lot of Heavy Infantry to go through, 9 versus my 5. Of course, I do have Hastani who are quite decent, especially in prolonged melee. They can probably stack up against his Armored Numidian Spears, for example. Without too much problem. They might lose, but it'll be close. And they obviously are cost like half the cost, so that's fine. So he's invested really heavily into infantry, and that's his game plan. Not overinvest in the Javcav, just outperform me in the Javcav cost-wise, just simply because the Gaetuli horse from is so much cheaper. Um, and then go for a heavy infantry stack and try to win that way with slinger support. His cav force is pretty weak. He's got 2 armored desert cav and 2 Numidian or Numidian riders. So not terrible, but not great. His general's in that unit as well, which is kind of risky because these guys are pretty fragile. Again, only 50 morale, 90 health, and 40 morale. Low melee defense. These guys are very much a cycle charge unit, and they can't take much fire. So those are how the armies stack up. I'm definitely out infantry, but then again, at the same time, like veteran legionnaires and the Avocado cohort are going to vastly outperform any of his units. Even the Desert cohort gets vastly outperformed by a Avocado or a veteran legionnaire. 59 attack on the veteran legionnaires, only 47 on the Avocado. Charge bonus is worse on the Desert cohort. 48 melee defense. They do have better melee defense, slightly better armor. Same armor as Avocado though. 60, 65. So yeah, they have worse defense on the veteran legionnaires, but way better attack. So and these guys cost 140 more. So, and then of course the Desert Legionnaires are no match for any of my infantry, my elite infantry, uh, veteran Legionnaires or the Avocado. So my infantry has that kind of advantage. I have a huge cav advantage again. Equites probably lose. I don't know if I said that. I have 3 Equites and 2 Sock Equite Extraordinary. But my Equites definitely probably lose even to his Armored Desert Cav. 42, 26, 10. 42, 26, 10. So way better attack on the Armored Desert Cav, but they don't have that 15 bonus versus large. 29 charge versus 30 charge, 58 defense, 45 armor, 58 defense, so pretty high melee defense, way less armor, 75 health for both of them, and 40 morale, 45 morale. So yeah, the armor desert cav quite a bit better. Medium, both are medium, so mass no advantage there. But the one thing is they are very low on armor, so all of his cav is very weak to missiles, whereas my cav is all very well armored, relatively. So that's one big thing. I also have an extra cav unit plus the Legatus, so 2 extra cav units really. But the Legatus is not really good for much, obviously, just hunting down slingers, but I'm outmatched in the infantry department. The real question is going to be, can I get to these slingers, and how much damage can the Syrians do? Because my plan will obviously have to be to attack aggressively. I can't Archer War his slingers. If I just sit there, he's going to shoot my infantry or just shoot my Syrians down with his slingers, and that's a cost-effective trade for him. So I need to go into him and then get really good shots with my Syrians and do a lot more damage. Because these slingers won't do damage quickly. They're very bad slingers. So if I can overwhelm somewhere and start picking off these slingers and putting them under pressure and letting my Syrians fire for free with my cav advantage, then I'm going to be in good shape because those Syrians will do enough damage to help my really good infantry take an edge over his infantry, kill off a few of them, and then I can get the infantry battle at least back into my favor, or at least closer, and meanwhile the cav should be in my favor. But he has a lot of anti-cav in his 4 spears plus the 5 spears basically. So it's not necessarily clear how I can get a good cav fight going, but we'll see how that goes. So let's start. So I'm just making a move towards the center here. I intend to start running forward here. I'm not going to shoot his slingers at all, obviously. I'm just going to go shoot his cav if he lets me, otherwise I'll shoot his infantry. Don't really have a better choice. You can see I'm just targeting his cav right from the outset. And things are going to get hectic here, so let's just go into slow motion immediately. Um, Obviously, we can see, like, one thing he's done is he's defended his center with these 3 spears, so no YOLO charges in the center are going to be worth it. And then on the flanks, he has, his noble spearmen in reserve to kind of support fights. So it's, these infantry I think are the weakest, right? They're going to be, there's weakest melee infantry, and they're exposed. They don't have a lot of support, so that's definitely one thing to look for. Whereas the center is quite strong. So my archers are running up here. They don't really get shots, though, for a second on his cav. I'm not really sure what he's going to charge or what he's going to do in terms of charges, especially in the first game of the series, as this is. I don't really know what his plan is. One thing you can see with my formation is I put my avocado or my veteran legionnaires on the flanks to try to get an advantage in the flanks and not really worry about the center. I can always kite back in the center, and if he tries to chase me, I can engage, and then I'll have like good angles for my archers to shoot across into, So I want to have my center be a bit weaker. You can see my Triarii and my infantry are on the flanks with Astadi in the center, with this one veteran legionnaire really be the only main unit in the center. So that's sort of my plans to go aggressive on the flanks. See my Skyelement run forward here. This is a bit risky, like taking a javelin volley here is not great, but it will kill off this unit if I get a charge and a counter charge here with my own infantry. But will I even get a charge is a question, because I'm charging everywhere now. Oh man, maybe I don't even get a charge here. Yeah, I really don't. Yeah, this is going to be cringe. Yeah, my charge gets blocked, so this is just bad micro for me. Didn't really realize that. Here I do get the charge though, but I'm already losing 9 and 8 Skyelement Extraordinary for almost not huge gain. This cav charge is pretty bad into his Numidian Spearmen, which do have, or these are armored Numidian Spears. I'm trying to get the charge into this unit just to block. I'm trying to get all my charges, aggressively. So very, very aggressive play for me in this case. But these charges are, actually this charge ends up being okay. But like a lot of the men are stuck fighting Spearmen. A lot of the cav units are stuck fighting Spearmen, so that's not really ideal. This charge was much better. Here, this unit, yeah, I was taking a lot of losses again. It just got stuck in there. Now it's going to get countercharged. It's going to start losing a lot of men. This Sakakute also losing a lot of men, so I'm not really doing a very good job at the start of the battle here. For some reason, both my Numidians ended up on this side. I'm not really sure what happened about that. So now he has a free cab behind me, and now I can start to shoot these guys as they retreat. Already down about half strength on this unit. About half strength on this unit. These guys are doing okay. These guys are getting out. Not too many losses. What this has allowed me to do though is like get some pretty good engagements, because everywhere I'm charging and following up with my infantry and he's not getting good charges, so I will have a big advantage in all of these fights. But it's now questionable if I'm going to have enough cav to actually like do anything, because if I just fight a straight line engagement, it's going to be very hard for me to win, because the slingers are just going to outperform my archers in the long run, just because I'm going to run out of ammo. I'm trying to dodge the slinger fire there. We can see his slinger's already doing good damage. My plan is to like rotate. You can see my my archers all rotate to this side. I want to get shots into his unshielded side, so his right hand side. So that's why I'm rotating in this direction. But I have a lot of matchups that are not really great for me here. I mean, I'm gonna do okay in the center here. I'm gonna do okay maybe on the flank, but he also has a unit to cycle with here, so he has 106 Numidian nobles against my 108 avocados. Not really ideal. But I am starting to get these shots into the side of this unit, so this is going to do really well. In the center here, it's decent for me. Somehow my Triarii, he ran away from me here, so my Triarii just sneaks through and is now pressuring behind him. His noble Numidians are running away, but here he has 100 against 90, so I'm winning a lot of fights here. It's not terrible. I would say overall it's okay. But he has, a lot of reserves. This is an armored Numidian Spearman here. He's got 99 Desert Legionnaires here. He's winning in the center here. With the support of these, Numidian Spearmen and probably just like some cycle charging. He's got his cavalry completely healthy. He hasn't lost almost a single man anywhere, except for in this unit. But look at my cav. 27, 53, 31, 37. Like, these guys are not going to stand up to fully healthy units. They were not better to begin with, especially against like the armored Numidian riders. The only thing I had that was better with the Sakakutes, and they're already at half strength, so they are going to instantly die to enemy cav. So now I can't really like do very much here to try and even out these fights. I'm in a fight here. This is a decent fight for me because my support's a lot closer. my like Terraria is like blocking his path to get here, kind of. So that's okay. I'm gonna kill off this Desert Legionnaire with these archers just shooting into the side. And since this Estadi's losing, he's wrapping around, which just makes it even easier target for me. He's getting nice shots into my infantry over here though, so he's starting to win this fight. It's not good for me. And there's not a lot of places where I can feel like super comfortable about my chances. Because okay, this is definitely one spot where I'm definitely gonna win on the far left. I expect to win there because I have a full tree area and almost a full letter legionnaire, and he just got rear charged here. So he's not this rear charge isn't even fully in yet. So as soon as that hits, he'll start to drop a lot of men. He does have 73 nobles here, but my tree area can clean that up with the help of these infantry. But this flank it looks pretty dire, not good. He's gonna lose this infantry unit probably, but he's already busting through the center here. He has a full armored minion spear. I do have a tree area in reserve, 120 men, so could be useful. But again, his slingers are really untouched. His cav is really untouched, and that's not a good sign for me. So you can see these guys dropping very quickly now because of that recharge. My veteran legionnaire is going to win this fight. Here I get another good engagement here. This is fine because my Terraria is close, although it was against a shock cab, so you can see how quickly the Equites drop. And honestly, like this Equite might die before I can even get in. And you can okay, that was kind of a pull through. Yeah, okay, that was kind of cringe. But I guess it does route the unit, so whatever. Still a pull through, but it's fine, probably. So now he doesn't get a charge here. I'm gonna get a counter charge into his shock cab, and we already said those guys do not like to be left alone like that. Here he just tries to send in his sword skirmishers into my archers. My archers don't really care about that necessarily. I scare him off with my general pretty easily. He did finally kill that Hastati, so he lost not actually that many men to the Hastati in the end. So yeah. I'm gonna start shooting it down now more with my archers, but he could have lost more men there. This cat fight is like crucial, and my Terraria just aren't able to get into this fight. I don't know why I keep going this way. They need to come in here and just kill these cav units off completely. I am winning this fight, but like not really that significantly, and the Equites are really poor morale, only 40 morale, so they can rout here. So I'm trying to cycle charge and kill off these Nubian riders. They shouldn't do very much damage in a long melee, but you can see my cav force is just dwindling massively. I only have 30 Equites here, 20 Sock Equites, 7 Sock Equites, like, pretty much nothing. And he has 2 cav units that are completely full. So it's gonna be a miracle if I manage to, trade off the cav. I do have my general here as well, which does help even numbers out. Maybe numbers were about even, but the problem is health-wise, he's completely healthy, and he's also a lot closer to these engagements that matter. I'm not really going to be able to do very much to support this fight. So I try to like sack or like get my Equites out of here. My Terraria are now running back into this fight, but imagine if they were already in this fight. He would never want to send his general into a fight where a spearman that's 120 men or 113 men is just sitting there. And that would have scared him off, so I don't know why I went back this way. That was kind of bad. I should have just entered the cav fight where the spears can really perform most effectively. My archers are now getting a lot of kills though. This is good. You can see him wrapping around the flank here with his armored minion spears. They're just going to get shot in the back. That's cool. Here's his cav unit tries to come through. My general can win this fight because my archers can all just focus this unit while my general ties him down, so he doesn't really want to take this. And he's just going to run away. So I'm going to get some nice shots into his cav unit for free, but he kind of dodges them. Actually, completely, like, almost completely dodges them. It's kind of cringe for me because like that unit should have lost like 30 men if my archers hit, but they all kind of missed. And now he's focusing my archers, so I kind of have to be careful. I used precision shot there, expecting him to take that engagement, but he doesn't even take it. So now I'm going to waste precision shot here. And we updated ourselves on the infantry fight, like you can see. 41 Desert Legionnaires there, okay, they're pretty much dead. 30 Veteran Legionnaires, 60 in the Desert cohort. But he has 58 Numidian Nobles, 53 Desert Legionnaires, who will probably lose to my Terraria here, to be fair. But he has this 40 Armored Numidian Spears, so he has lost quite a few men. I've got this spare 66 Veteran Legionnaires that can come and support this fight, which is good. And this huge Terraria unit, 113. So the infantry fight ended up being pretty close, as we kind of expected. Once I used a lot of resources to even that fight out by YOLOing in. But he does have these Armored Numidian Spears here at 109 that I don't really have anything to account for. And he is winning everywhere, at least in theory. So here I'm going to finally kill off his last Armored Desert Cab, or this last Armored Desert Cab, but he still has this one, 59. 36 Numidian riders, so he's up in the cav fight. Here I don't get out with my Jow Cav, either they get stuck. They didn't have a lot of ammo. They didn't have any ammo, I don't think, or anything, but it's so useful because they can hunt down slingers. Now they cannot hunt down slingers, they're dead. And of course, now my archers need to dip. So I need to just reform here, kill off this unit with my general, which I'll do, and then use this Triarii to just like stabilize the infantry fight. It will be a pretty close infantry fight, all things considered, because this huge Triarii unit can pretty much end a lot of these guys. Unfortunately, though, these veteran legionaries are fighting in the back. I should have rotated them around so they were fighting frontally, because now they're getting shot in the back by this whole slinger force, and this is really bad for me. My archers are again not close enough to fight this cav blob, so I just have to sacrifice this unit of Equites and get my general out of there. My archers will try to fire into the blob now, and they will do so. His general, this was a risky charge. I thought he was going to throw this game away when he did this. But he doesn't. He doesn't commit his general very smartly. Runs him away. These armored desert cav are going to kill off my unit and get out. But you can see how fast they're losing men. Imagine if the precision shot volleys hit, you know, with 6 more damage on those arrows, and hitting him in the rear, they would have, you know, probably made this unit almost useless. In which case, our cav would have been almost equal, like my general versus his armored Dominion riders. But I also have archer support. You know, it would have been pretty close. So this veteran legionary is going to go down here. I try to fire into this blob as much as I can. Getting nice shots into this blob, kind of into the rear. Here I just like focus his general, but he's really smart about this. He just runs away. He takes a little bit of fire here, but not significant amounts. I need to be really just shooting this blob now, but he's going to push my archers back any second now. So I just have to regroup here and sacrifice this unit. This Triarii is doing a good job holding off these guys. They're going to lose eventually, because his Numidian nobles are outnumbering me. Here again, he kind of like, I guess it's not really a pull through, but it's still kind of cringe. I kill off his Gaetuli skirmishers there for free. And his cav is not going to do too much to my archers. I just melee them here. And, you know, there's only 19 of them, so they're really not going to be able to kill too many men. But once my general gets in here, I'll just start running away. My Triarii can now, they get second winded, so everything here, winded, like everything's winded or very tired, so my Triarii that are fresh can actually just win in this blob, probably. But I need to use my archers wisely here. They don't have the most ammo, and of course he has all of his slingers alive here, so, or at least 3 of them. Is that 3 or 4? I can't tell. I think it's 3. So I don't have enough archers, like, I don't have enough ammo to kill his slingers, obviously. And I need to kill his cav at some point, somehow. So obviously I'm shooting his most important unit, his cohort. But I honestly should have, at this point, I should have been spreading out to get better shots. Because if I just sit here and shoot him frontally, it's not going to do enough damage, and it's a waste of ammo. But even at this point, it's pretty hard to win from here. And he's also, like, abusing this fucking retarded glitch. By, like, spamming shield wall. But I will kill his cohort. So that guy's dead. And, like, 88 Triarii against 90 Dominion Spearmen. They're getting shot in the back a bit here, so they're not going to do great, so I'm just going to start shooting him in the back. And now he's going to start to really suffer in numbers. But my Triarii are, you know, not doing too great either. My archers are in long lines at least, so they're not going to be taking too much fire from his slingers. If he shoots my slingers here, or my archers, it's not a huge problem. At this point, I'm like, okay, I'm going to win this fight probably. Or it's close enough where I just have to accept it, and now I have to go try and kill his general. Obviously he realizes this, right? Like, my only win condition here is I rout his general. So even like tries to bait some shots here. And pretty much does, so yeah, look at that. Just baits them out, so that was really good play from him. Smartly baiting them out. At this point I just have to run after his slingers with my archers, and then YOLO my cabin there. I think this guy's out of ammo, but also has only 26 men, so it's not even a win in melee. He's got a few reserve units here. So I'm just trying to like back up and base his general in at any cost. My Syrians get in there. His general finally comes in. Finally I'm going to get some volleys here. But he manages to get a double charge here. That's pretty much going to cause it to be over. We both pop our abilities. These archers can't really fire, but these other archers are firing into the blob. 20 against 13. I mean, everything's gonna die in here if we both keep focus firing it, but obviously that favors him because he has slingers alive, and I don't really have any archers. See, my Shari doing a good job winning this fight, but it's just ultimately not gonna be enough because all these slingers are alive. And yeah, his general's gonna go down as well. I think right now his general recently died, my general recently died, but there's just too much infantry here. So he will win the first game, and it was pretty well played. But definitely getting no charge to my Sake Ekute on the left, um, and kind of losing too much cav in the beginning of the game did not help my cause very much, for sure. See, one Numidian noble did really bad. I don't really know what happened to it. It was the one that was fighting on my left and just kind of like ran away from a unit and just got chased down. But the cohort does well. His melee infantry just generally does pretty well. Armored Numidians do well. So, whereas, you can see my Hastati not getting any kills really. Avocado doing really poorly. Syrian's not getting a whole lot of kills. Decent kills. But really, it's the Cav that was a crucial L. Like, these kills are really unacceptable for Cav, and you can see his Cav all did really pretty much better. My Numidians did pretty good, outperforming his Gaetuli, which is good, but not enough from the Cav. Really, that was the main difference. So going into the second game, that's like the obvious thing to fix. Same armies. Spoiler: it will be same armies across the board, the entire series. So no need to go over that. We can just skip right to the action. But yeah, so I was thinking like, okay, my Cav didn't do very well. Like the other thing is I engaged kind of everywhere at once. Like I don't know why I paused. I kind of just attacked everywhere at once and tried to overwhelm him with my Cav charges. But that also meant that all of my Cav took damage. So in this game, I'm like, okay, what if I go back to like the basics of something that I've been doing a lot in this tournament? Engage on one flank with an overwhelming number, and then come around the flank with a unit of Hastati leading the way with my Cav flanking with it. What that does is it forces him to bring his reserves this way, and then those units get shot in the back by my Syrians, and I have a Stadi here to win on the flank, while my like Evocati are fighting and my veteran legionnaires are fighting in the center. And what that does is it gives me an engagement. Like, okay, the first engagement I fight on the flank are going to be winning for me because that's where my veteran legionnaires will be engaging, and my Triare potentially. And I can always shift in more elite infantry, which just means all the initial engagements are going to be fought by my best infantry units, and I won't have any like weak engagements. Whereas on the other flank, where like if he tries to wrap me around the opposite flank, I can just run away from his units. And since he only has heavy infantry that I'm scared of, right? All his good units are very heavy and very slow. I can just avoid those fights. Only fight where I have the better infantry, because again, my elite infantry are the best infantry here out of any infantry in this matchup. So that's not really a big problem. I can engage where I want to engage, use my shot cap to YOLO charge, sure, but not have to YOLO charge everywhere. That way I can leave this shot cap, for example, if I engage on my left, right? This shot cav YOLOs in, loses like 10 men, 15 men tops, but it starts a really good fight for me. My Evocati come in here, or my veteran legionnaires, overwhelm this flank. Triarii potentially engages or potentially flanks with the Hastati, and then all of a sudden I've only used like one, maybe two cav. I kite on the other side. My Syrians start shooting units in the back, or all units that are rotating, they just get shot by the Syrians, and I overwhelm this flank. And I have more cav than him, so he can't really stop that from happening. So that's sort of my general plan to, kind of fix what happened last time. And then once I'm behind him, his slingers will feel a lot of pressure. They won't be able to shoot, and my Syrians will be freely shooting. Maybe they'll have to kite a little bit from his heavy infantry. But at a certain point, what this is going to do is going to make his infantry advantage very useless, while making my cav advantage feel very pronounced. And if he runs his infantry across to like meet my flanking rush, then he's gonna take only rear shots from my Syrians. So that's sort of the adjustment that I decided to try to go for. See how it works though. I still have to get through that infantry, one way or another, and he can still cycle charge a lot. He's got a lot of options to try and counter that. So we'll see. So Numidians just fighting on the flank, kind of trading pretty evenly. Let's see, 58, 60, 48. 55, so yeah, I'm winning slightly. That's just like, I don't know, taking less risks. Again, Syrian's just gonna pound forward here and insta-shoot his Kev. That's just gonna be free damage. And he should probably just retreat his Kev. Like, he has so much infantry here that And I'm not even close to like YOLOing him. You could pull his cav forward again, but like these units in the center are under no risk of getting YOLO charged because he has the armored minion spears there. These guys, sure, they might want to stay close just so they don't get his infantry doesn't get YOLOed. He's gonna run forward here. Again, let's just slow it down for this kind of hectic moment. Again, his cavalry are gonna take insane damage if they just like let me keep shooting him. We'll see if anyone drops on this volley. Somehow no, but that's just HP that's lost for good. My Triarii, you can see, I'm creating this block with my Triarii. My entire force is rotating to the left. This Triarii can always go into square, and if he tries to fight it, and then you just wrap around, that's just free fodder for the Syrians. And in square, Triarii will literally just never die because they have so much armor and such high defense to begin with, and with square they have even higher melee defense, so units can't just like get hits on them, basically. So here he comes forward. Obviously, he's gonna try to wrap on his right. I'm trying to wrap on my right, and I'm trying to wrap on my left. His general is now taking significant damage. He does realize this though, but it's already too late to be honest. Like I've shot like 3 or 4 volleys. I'm trying to kite a little bit on this flank. And you can see I'm just trying to get, the problem now that I'm having is I don't want like my Triarii to be the one to engage this unit because it's not a winning fight. I want my veteran legionaries there, and then this veteran legionary to engage his next unit in the line, and then my Avocati to hold the center, and this Triarii can flank with the Hastati. So I'm a little bit slow to the punch here. And he actually is like out-rotating me because he can engage me with any units. It doesn't really matter which units he engages with. So I'm just running away here, my Triarii. But I see like this is an opportunity to maybe counterattack on this unit since it is a bit caught. I'm also shooting his general still, so like this time delay is okay for me. So yeah, I'm gonna see this opportunity to go after his legions here. Gonna throw some javelins with my Hastati into him here. He does sort of realize at the last moment that this is coming, and the timing is really unfortunate here. I hit my own archers with this charge. For some reason, they were charging from that far away, so I'm not actually going to get a good charge, whereas if I had continued charging, it would have been a pretty decent charge. Like, it wouldn't have been great, but it would have been better. It would have caught more of his riders. Here, though, I am going to get the charge into his Desert Legionaries. Not losing a single man, you didn't get a javelin volley off. Over here, my Numidians just like YOLO charged his Skytuli, and they're gonna get finished off by this Cav, so that's just an advantage, taking advantage of this like whole chaotic situation. He's gonna fuck up that Hastati though for sure, with this charge, and his legions are gonna be there. But now my Triarii can come in here and just go into a square and kind of hold this flank off while I am winning on this flank. And you can see like, okay, my Triarii did charge in, and we're the follow-up, but I can immediately replace them with this veteran legionnaire and get this Triarii out onto the flank. This Hastati is moving there now. This Shakuyakwate can come around the flank, and I can just start piling units over there. That's sort of the plan. And you can see I have like almost no infantry on this flank. These 2 units right now are completely worthless in where they're positioning. Same with this unit. Because this unit here is going to get tied down by the square of my Shakuyakwate, and these guys have such a far walk to go anywhere, and I can just keep kiting. And again, the only unit he can even try to recharge is my Triarii, which will always already be in square, so recharging it will be completely pointless. Like, recharging a unit that's in square is just stupid, because you're also going to take rear shots from my archers. So that means he has to come all the way across, and the first fight he might catch that's like worth recharging might be like over here. So these guys have a long way to run, under fire the entire time, potentially getting charged or charged by my Hastati, so not good for him. So he gets his Gaetuli out, but they're pretty fucked.
Yes, Commander.
And I'm going to start wrapping around the flank. Here I get a nice charge as well. Again, this is a fight I want to take because I have both my Avocati and my Veteran Legionnaire right here. So this Desert Legionnaire is going to get clapped. And you know, my Avocati can engage his Armored Spear, and my Veteran Legionnaire can engage his Desert Legionnaire, and that's like 2 winning fights for me. This fight's not winning necessarily because his noble new minions have like come in here and countercharge, and he allowed his Desert Legionnaire to cycle charge, which was smart of him. But when this Triarii gets around the flank, it's a 2v1. And again, my Triarii can take on his Desert Legionnaire and just sit there and square while my archers blast it, and my Hastati can go help any cav fight and turn it into my favor even more than it already was, because my cav is already better. So yeah, here comes the rotation. Like, we're all rotating this way. Archers are rotating over here again to get right-sided shots into the club. Yeah. So again here, another charge from Misaki Equite, followed up with by the Hastati. Really nice. Gonna slow him down. There's just already a cav fight happening here. My Skyelement can just rear charge here. They can, do whatever they want, really. Here, I'm going to use this opportunity to rear charge his Noble Dominions. He's also using this dumb glitch again. Kind of gay. Hold on. But he's going to get rear charged by my chart. That was a shitty charge. I don't really know why it was such a bad charge, but I instantly I just wanted to touch these guys, get a few men engaged in combat recharge, and then cycle into here, because now he has 2 Desert Legionnaires here, so I don't really want to abandon my study there. This cav fight's going on. I have support here. My shock cav are coming in. To be fair, he has put a lot of units into this fight, so he probably will win here. And my rotation's a bit slow, but you can also see now my archers are going to get really nice shots into this blob. My study are kind of blocking him, but it's not terrible. Here, Desert Cohort against Avocado Cohort, in my favor, for sure. This fight, Veteran Legionnaire against Armored Dominion Spear, very much in my favor, I mean. Here, Square, 108 men, 112 men, but I'm in Square, so I will lose that, obviously, but I won't die for a very long time. So here, yeah, just getting my support into this blob. Archers shooting into the blob. Here, I just abandoned this fight. I just charged Hastati in here, and this is the use of the Hastati, too. They can just tie down these units. 86 against 67, you'll probably win here, but it allows my Veteran Legionnaires to just get into a way more important fight. This Hastati can come around the flanker and bust through here and support cav fights. My cav is coming in here. He does have a nice Numidian Spearman in this fight. With 30 bones versus large, they will do quite a lot of damage. And here, his Avocado is getting, my Avocado is getting 2v1, so it's probably going to lose. But it's not terrible. But look how many units he still has out of the fight. Like, 120 Armored Numidian Spearmen. 120 Desert Legionnaires. Like, he's 2v1ing here. So he has so many units out of crucial fights, while like my entire army, the meat of it, is all right here. There's 2 of my heavy elite infantry, 1 of my Triarii, all 3 of my Astadi, all of my cav, all in this vicinity. So I have a lot more units in the critical areas of the fight than he does. And you can see, like, he's not liking these fights anymore. One of his Desert Legionnaires just instantly routes. I run my Hastati away because they don't need to be here anymore. They can go kill off this Numidian Spear. Here he's going to try to like bust through, but he realizes he's like not going to be able to do that. I'll just countercharge him and kill off his weakened Armored Dominion cav. Shooting the back of his cohorts as they run away, just like I was saying before. Anything that like tries to rotate can just get shot in the back. Now he has to rotate all the way around out of range. Now this Desert Legionnaire is isolated. It's up against a much healthier Desert Legionnaire, or Veteran Legionnaire, and it's going to get recharged by Hastati, so I'm winning there too. And you can see he's just like kind of in a messy situation here. He's not really winning this fight as fast as he would want. These Avocado are going to slowly lose to his Numidian Noble Infantry because he's getting these Slinger Fire in here and Cycle Charging. But that's fine. Noble Dominion's also going to lose here. Just trying to get I can get my Skyelement into nice recharge positions here. He has literally nothing he can do about these fights. Like, they're just going to get recharged into Oblivion. And again, he has a lot of units out of the fight, but if he loses half his army and I only lose like 2 or 3 units on the flank, I'm in a much stronger position. His slingers have not gotten almost any use yet, whereas my archers have been doing really good damage. Not maybe got the kills to show for it, but this HP damage is critical. This cav is out of the fight. Now I'm just going to collapse on this flank and then run this across the battlefield. Big kill there for my Skyelement Extraordinaria, killing off his Desert Armored Dominion Rider. Rear charges here, rear charges here. That's all we want. My archers now say, okay, here comes that unit in square. Nice right-sided shots into this unit. 75 men, so they only lost like 20 men so far. Obviously, his Desert Legionnaires haven't lost anything to the Triarii, but they're going to start losing a lot of men to the archers. And now here goes this Armored Desert Cav. Finding my Equite will win, but again, Hastati for support. This Veteran Legionnaire is winning. I'm about to have another Veteran Legionnaire and Hastati open here. Finally, his support is finally actually doing something, but it's a bit too late at this point. Like, all my cav is alive. He's only left with 1 cav unit. It's not even very healthy. His general. I guess he has this cav unit, but it's way out of the battle. And will lose to any of my Skyelement. So I can just kind of like keep an eye on it, but not have to do that much to it. Armored Dominion is going to go down to my Hastati here. Avocado again losing to that Numidian Noble because of the cycle charging, but his infantry is just caught out in no man's land here. You can see this unit is starting to actually lose because of all the fire. Now I'm just like playing games with his infantry here. He pops cavalry counter tactics probably, but I'm not even gonna like, stay there to fight. I'm just like harassing his rear lines. And now I just need to set up a coordinated effort to kill his slingers, which I'm gonna do as soon as I get rid of this armored desert cav. His slingers are, you know, a threat. And again, they probably have a lot of ammo. He sacrifices Tuli to get his armored desert cav out of there, which is smart. He needs these cav to protect his slingers, basically. But you know, he's getting focus fire into my cav, so this is really good. This is what he wants to do. Just like if he can pick off like 2 cav units and get this unit back into the battle, he'll be potentially okay to kite me down with these slingers and potentially win. But now you can see these Shirari go out of square and they're like, we're back, bitch. And they're gonna start fighting them. Now his general has to come in here. This is studied as a javelin volley, so I'm trying to like avoid with my my cav unit and get a javelin volley into the back of this unit. But now my, you know, my Soccer Protects Extraordinary are coming. This unit's here, killing off this Desert Cav. Not really getting a good use on this Equite though, it just gets charged by his general. But I can just focus fire his general here. Javelin Volley comes in. Archer Fire comes in, and that should pretty much do it. He's down to 7 men. His general probably dies here any second now. My Legatus gets in there. I clean up his general first, obviously, that's just like more important. And of course, like again, even if he had remembered this unit, I just have a Saki Equite right here ready to deal with them. So, not a huge problem. You can see these Triarii now turning it around against these Legionnaires. After being in square and suffering for so long, the archers bailed them out, and now they're going to win this fight. Actually, they might lose still, but it's close now. My cav can win that, and my archers will easily finish off whatever infantry he has left. So even now, like he's going to win the infantry fight. If I just sit here, he's probably going to win the infantry fight still, you know, with this big ass armored minion spear. But fortunately for me, it's the only thing that's left, and you know, easy fodder for my cav. And my archers have a good amount of ammo here too, so there's not much these armored minion spears can do. And you can see these Saki Equites just screening his armored desert cav completely. And now I can just cycle charge these guys into oblivion. I have so much cav. His cav is all dead, or at least not in position. And that's the second game, so a bit of a comeback. I think my plan was executed pretty well. You can see not huge kills on my cav, but the Saki Equite Extraordinary is where you expect the kills, and they were very good and still alive. Archers, really good kills. Infantry, a bit better on the kills this time. The Hastati doing really well. Veteran Legionnaires doing really well. Triarii, again, were sacrificed in square, so they didn't get a lot of kills, but they held their lines. And the series is tied 1-1, so that's obviously good. We go into the third game. Again, same armies, nothing to speak about there. And now I think we both have a sense of what each other are trying to do. Like the first game, I wasn't sure what to expect from him, but now, I saw what his army was, I saw how he wants to play with this infantry spam, and he just needs to keep his slingers alive, etc. And now in the second game, he saw like a better performance from how I should counter that build by flanking and stuff, so he can maybe have a response. Because in the first game, I didn't even do that. So, you know, he didn't have, obviously, a way to react to it. But now that he's seen that one time, he should be, like, ready for that and ready to react to it. But, you know, now is, like, game 3, it's best of 5. This is the proving ground. Both sides kind of know what each other's going to do, who's going to come out on top in that situation. So here, like, I'm running forward. I'm using my new minions just to pressure his slingers here. I would never even charge here, but you can see he has to, like, get a little bit worried about it. My archers are already shooting his general. That's very good. Here comes this engagement. You can see I'm already shifting way to the left again. Probably should be expecting it. Much quicker to retreat his general, so that's really good. Again, you can see he's like adapting a little bit to what I'm trying to do. He's shifting here. So I focus his other rider, obviously. Like that's pretty clear. If this guy's gonna stay in range, I'm just gonna kill him. Anyway, here I'm gonna get some free kills on these armored desert cav. Probably didn't need to commit here though with this Equite. Like I don't have any support nearby. I'm trying to avoid a fight here. I'm trying to run this way. So there's no point to actually commit here. I should just let my Numidian shoot his cav. But I commit here on a charge. Kind of thinking like, okay, whatever, I'll trade cav here and just charge in here. But my main purpose was to charge over here. Here he kind of actually tricks me here. I thought these guys are charging into my Triarii, so I'm like, okay, let me just not engage here and follow up with these guys. But he's actually targeting my Extraordinary, so that's not good. So you can see I could have completely blocked this Pelum by just charging my Terraria there. I'm not sure why I didn't do that, to be fair. It would have been smart either way. But now I'm going to take 2 or 3 Pelum volleys. Yeah, 3 Pelum volleys, so... Well, actually, okay, only 2 because he retreated this unit for some reason. Now, this is a very strong charge, because it's still going to hit 3 units, and I'm going to get counter charges everywhere, so it's still a pretty worthy charge. I lose 15 men for it, though. Up here in the center, my Terraria get a charge into his other legionaries, but this is not really good. Again, kind of making the same mistake. I'm engaging in too many places at once. Now, I'm not using my cav as much, sure, but these engagements are just going to go south for me if I don't use my cav, so that's kind of bad for me at the same time. Hastati going to fill in the gaps here. And again, like, they're only going to do this for a second while my Terraria come and then my Hastati can flank around. But the problem is he has a lot more support here. I'm not quick enough rotating this way. I kind of stop my rotation. So now if I run my Hastati around the flank, he can just disengage his Numidian nobles and say, okay, your Hastati are not going to beat my Numidian nobles, so you cannot flank anymore. In the end, the exchange 31 here, 31 here, so dead equal. Which favors me, to be fair, because his Armored Desert Cav are more expensive and better than my Equites, so trading equal number of them is good for me. My Stadi, you know, helped in that cav fight, but they're just gonna run away now. They don't want to take a fight against Desert Legionnaires, obviously. He has been taking a little bit of fire on his shot cav units, but these engagements are also bad. I also was on formation attack, which is really bad, and so I need to realize that. I won't for a second though. I'm finally trying to run away here. I'm also like chasing this unit, and they're getting shot to death, so this is like really cringe. So overall, a really bad start for the battle for me. For some reason, he like doesn't rotate this unit like this way. He rotates it like back inside his lines, which doesn't really make sense. You want to fight on the flanks here, but he's not doing that. So I'm trying to charge the Slinger. Do they get into the charge animation? Because he gets a counter charge here. Yeah, okay. No, I don't even get a charge. So yeah, I'm not going to get a charge here. This is even worse. Now my best unit, my prized possession, is not even getting a charge here. And so it's really bad. This Equite also doesn't get a charge, really. It gets blocked. So this unit is just like completely going to dominate this fight. Again, my Hastati are there for support, but so are his Numidian nobles, so this is bad again. I am winning here, though, because my veteran legionnaires get a free charge into here, killing these guys. And my Terraria are fighting here, doing a decent job. I'm getting a reserve unit in here, so I'm going to win on this flank, essentially, I think is the main thing. I've got a couple of units trying to come support this fight, so it's not all lost yet. And going to square here again, we know that Terraria can just hold in square forever here, so this is fine. His armored Numidian spears, again, gonna kill off this Numidians, or his Vigilies pretty quickly, even in square, but it's still time off the clock. And, okay, he's shooting these guys as they rotate. Again, that's just part of the plan for me. He's chasing my Numidians here, which is annoying, but he does catch them, I guess, so it's not great for me. And here, his Gaetuli horse skirmishers shooting my cav. And now I'm just like, okay, this is bad. I was trying to flank this way, and I really don't think I can, because he's got 2 cav units that are very healthy here. I have no support until this Hastati can get over here, and this Terraria can get over here. So flanking right now is bad. If he takes a cav fight now with his Numidian nobles, the slingers, potentially this unit, all in support, my cav is just gonna die. So I gotta hold up. I gotta wait for my reserves to get there, because the best way to flank is to tie down his edgemost unit and then come around that flank with an infantry unit in support. That's kind of the plan. So we can wait. Here I get my Avocati into his Desert Legionnaires. They're down 20 men already, so my Avocati are going to crush in this fight. My Terraria can get out to safety. These frontal shots are not great, but they're something. And again, he's losing badly on the left side here, so it's a matter of time before I free up a lot of units, and he's not really doing a good job of like helping himself win these fights. So that's the one thing I have going through. Despite all like the failures, not getting a charge here, not getting a charge the second time. Actually, it was over here. The second time with my Extraordinary, getting Devil Javelin Valley at the start. You know, this weird exchange over here, not rotating properly. A lot of problems, being in formation attack even. I'm still, you know, I still have chances, good chances here, probably, to make something happen in this game. So, you know, it could be worse, Especially, yeah, when these guys win, we're gonna see what the battle's truly made of. So now my Terraria are indeed engaging his Dominion Noble Infantry. Very even numbers, so it's gonna be a decent fight. Here, I just charge in here, and I just say, okay, I'll just shoot this blob. He's got 2 heavy infantry in here, a cohort and a legionnaire, so if I just fire into this blob, my Astadi is gonna die. but I might get a lot of kills on this infantry. And again, these guys are soon to rout, and then I'm going to have very healthy infantry on the way to support this blob. So any damage I can do here is pretty good. My study's now around the flank, so now the flanking action can continue. And here we go, 4 cav, so almost all my cav going for that maneuver. And now he tries, like, I don't blame him here because the flag of the Terraria is here, but the actual unit's here, so he tries to run his unit this way, but they're going to take a lot of losses doing that. Which is really good for my Terraria. Here, though, I don't really get a great charge. It's decent, but a lot of these cav guys don't even get any charges. So again, another probably mistake. I just needed to charge him only with my Extraordinary. This unit was full. The rest of my units could just bait behind and then flank and just surround that rider unit. And, you know, that would have been fine. That would have been good enough. My Stadi can get into this fight too, maybe. So I'm just trying to retreat all my cav now. I'm like, okay, let me just get the fuck out of here because his Numidian nobles are in this fight. His infantry probably are taking pretty decent losses to my archer fire, to be fair. I do have to retreat at this point. He is shooting my archers, but again, like, shooting the Syrians is not really like a huge deal. And now, okay, now it's a big moment in the battle. I finally break through here. I have 100 veteran legionnaires here. These army Numidian spearmen are going to probably do okay against these veteran legionnaires, but he had to sacrifice another unit to do that. So now he has to either turn and face this unit, and also my Triaria is here at 91 men, and get shot in the back, or he has to kind of just, like, retreat over here where he can't get shot in the back, but give up a lot of space, isolate this unit, let them get killed off, and then potentially lose some slingers as well, because my cav is already there. So he's got a choice to make, so we'll see what he decides to do. Over here, Triarii against Armored Numidian Spears, he's winning here. Avocadi against Veteran Desert Legionnaires, I'm winning here, but he does have 120 Numidian nobles in support. But again, you can see it's kind of a consistent problem. He's not using his support very effectively. This slinger is in a really good spot, but imagine if he just rotated all the slingers right here and just focus fired the rears of these units. That's so much better than, like, letting yourself get surrounded, I feel like. But anyway, his Numidian nobles are 89 men now because they did this, like, weird, like, run through the side of my Triarii. And now they're facing 91 Astadi and 90 Triarii, so they're gonna die there. Now, his general does come in to save his slingers, and, you know, it was a full general against, like, 20 Sake Extraordinary, so they are going to win that fight quite easily. But my veteran legionnaire is in hot pursuit, my cav is closing in, my Triaria and Hastadi are here, and my archers are all in range, pretty much. So this is going to start to get dicey for him. He can easily retreat, obviously, once he kills this. Yeah, he just runs away, but his slingers are caught, his cav is caught. My cav is now charging in, so he's got 28 and 32 Numidian riders that are going to probably die. His general is going to get out, fair enough, but it's creating a blob here, and again, this is what we said before, if there's a blob, and my archers can shoot the back of it, it's going to be well into my favor. His Desert Legionnaire breaks here, so my Avocadi is on the loose. This can at least tie down this unit. We're chasing off the side of the map here, that's kind of stupid. He does go for this charge into my archers. Let's see, they're 87 men, and post-charge, they're not losing many men, basically, at the point. 1 man. My cav escaped to the side here. Just retreat. Here I'm also getting rear shots into this desert cohort, because they're just not doing anything. Get the rear charge into this Numidian spearmen, kill them off. Now these 66 veteran legionnaires can kill off the 74 desert cohort with the support of my cav and archers. And again, this blob is bad for me, objectively, but only for so long, because this veteran legionnaire, in a second, will only have to face this way, where his infantry are. These cav are all surrounded by infantry, so they're going to die. And then, as soon as my archers can shoot the back of this Desert Legionnaire, this fight is going to be in my favor. 54 Numidian Spearmen, 82 Numidian Nobles, and 93 Desert Legionnaires, potentially all going to die in this blob to my archer fire in, like, imminent. And my cavalry can also recharge those situations as well. He does manage to extricate 1 armored Numidian rider, and to be fair, he will be shooting me in the back as well. But this is where the archers come into play. The archers are just going to kill things in the back way faster than the slingers. And it's also another point to make that he only has 2 cav units left, and they're not healthy. I have a pretty healthy Sake Extraordinary, a very healthy Equite, another Equite, my general, and this Equite. I have like 5 cav. He only has 2, plus this Gaetuli, and this other one that's out of the fight. But he can't stop all that cav. So his slingers are going to be under pressure. My archers are not going to be under pressure whatsoever. And they're starting to deal the damage here. So again, he's rear-shotting me here. That's not great. I'm going to send my Triarii just deal with this. I don't think I need them in this fight, because if you look at the numbers here, 49, 40, 81 against 70 and 87. Very even numbers. My support is a lot better, archers and the cav. So if I can push his slingers back, that means that these guys are not going to be dying from rear shots. He is going to be dying to rear shots, and I'm going to be much better in that situation. So that's sort of an advantage for me. Here, I don't know why these Numidian spearmen started routing, just being attacked in the rear slightly. So that's probably why. So I said, okay, they're routing. Maybe I can get a rear charge here and just finish them off and not have to worry about them because they will win this fight, probably, or it'll be close at least. They're active against very tired, so their stats are actually probably better than the Triari there. Here another extraordinary rear charge, and you can see the numbers are just dwindling for him here. He is gonna win, but I also took out this Hastali. This was kind of a mistake. The Hastali should have stayed, and helped me win this fight. But now I'm gonna win this fight anyway. And it's going to be a chase for his slingers, basically, to determine the game. My archers are still alive, but they don't have a whole lot of ammo at this point. The infantry fight, again, still very close. He's got this big Numidian noble infantry, full strength, pretty much, that I have to get through. But my archers, my support, cavalry, very big units here, are in support. I have a lot of infantry over here that are not really, not going to factor into the infantry fight, but he'll have to kill them at some point. I route this armored Numidian spear. These guys are all going to get sandwiched and die, essentially. My general could even help out here, but my archer's just going to do the deal for me. I miss a charge here. He charges here with like 8 Numidian riders, but it's going to take my Equites a second to kill them because they didn't get a charge. And he's focus firing that blob with his slingers, so that's pretty good. And I don't have a cav. All I need to do is have a cav over here to chase down these slingers. Because again, he really has only one cav unit left, and it's just general. So I bait out the battle rhythm here, which is nice for me. But you can see these Equites lost a lot of men doing this. Killing off that cav unit that was only a few men. Here, another charge. And this one might do slightly more because the HP is a bit lower. But in the end, again, only like a couple of losses there. His Numidian noble's gonna go down to my veteran legionaries. But he does have 65 armed Numidians and 107 Numidian nobles, so quite a bit of infantry. I do have this Hastati. I'm finally now gonna get to his slingers, at least a couple of them. Gonna route them. My Hastati just making sure these guys can't shoot. Here, I'm gonna take a fight into his general here. This was a bit maybe risky. My Triari are not close enough to support this. My Equites are gonna instantly die. So this was kind of bad. Again, I never got a coordinated push here. So that's not great. I also let this unit come back from routing, which is even more awful. I hunt down his Skytuli though with my general. My archers are out of ammo at this point. So let's take stock again. I've got 41 and 17, so 58 veteran legionnaires. They're very tired and exhausted. He has 102 active Numidian nobles. So these guys are going to be beasts at this point because everything is exhausted. I have not been using my second winds very well, to be fair. These guys exhausted. These guys very tired. So everything's very tired. Obviously the cav maybe not so much, but this unit is going to be an absolute beast at this point in the fight is all I'm saying. And I'm not doing myself any favors by having these archers engage in melee because they're going to eat some of my own arrows. These are right-sided shots, so these are the best shots I can get, but my archers are going to kind of block them a bit. Not great. I'm going to get 2 slingers here, potentially. His general's not in a great spot either because he's about to get charged by my extraordinary, but they are very tired. So his general's active, these Triari are exhausted, he has a chance to just get that win. And you can see he gets a charge, that's all he needs at this point basically to finish them off. So even though he's just like getting constantly charged by unit after unit after unit, he's still in a good spot here to kill everything I had in terms of cav except for, this 1 or 2 units here. But 1 or 2 units can be enough, obviously. So here I finally retreat my archers smartly, let this Syrian archer deal the damage that it can. And I should have just rested these units. There's no rush to kill them, to kill this Numidian noble. Yeah, this is poor gameplay. Finally, my 3rd cav unit, my Equite, is going to come in here and say, I got this, guys. But the general did die, thankfully, but even still, they might lose this fight, these Equites. But I'm going to use that morale debuff to try to kill off these slingers. This slinger is kiting. This slinger came back from routing. But the key is my general at this point. He's still alive with 30 out of 30 men. He can hunt down everything if necessary. Look, you can see him using the glitch here, which allows them to get charges, and like basically gives them free charge bonuses. So this is completely illegal. I told him after this battle, like, yo, you gotta stop doing that because it's cringe. But you can see his general is not actually winning this fight. Well, maybe he is, to be honest. I don't know how, because it's a prolonged melee against a melee cav when you're a shot cav that has no good melee stats. But okay, you're doing it anyway. And his general did die though, so that's decent for me. But he's gonna kill all my cav with this fucking unit. And now my archers, of course, are out of ammo, so they can just like, chase slingers pretty effectively since they have good melee stats. Well, not great melee stats, but decent melee stats and good armor. His cav unit is alive here with 11 men, so he didn't actually lose that many men somehow. But they're finally going down here, 9. I kill off his Gaetuli horse skirmisher, so my general getting a lot of kills there. Killing off both of his cav. And now it's just a hunt for his slingers. His general is down to like 9 men, but again, not really routing, so that's not great. This Estadi is way out of the field, just trying to corral this slinger, but it can't really do so. I'm finally using my precision shot and heavy shot just to like do as much damage to these guys as I can. But I want to save his ammo. I don't really have to go after this unit right now. Way more important for me is to deal with these other units. Here, my Terraria are kind of getting wasted again. They're getting shot in the back. Finally, though, his general is kind of make a mistake here. I think he wanted to engage my general, but I would never have allowed that. I'm going to second win my Terraria, but I am going to get finally the killing blow with these archers, like the only ones that can do it apparently. Into these cav, gonna kill them off. Down to 5 for they just route. I second win of these Terraria, so they are fresh against very tired. So they might pull this back because the stamina, the stat difference enacted by stamina is pretty big. Again, he's still abusing that glitch, and that's not going to help me out because it will give him essentially a free charge bonus of 28 consistently. So my guys do route there. So now he's got these 2 units left, but his slingers are looking pretty dire here. I don't know why I started running my study back here. They should have just stood and fought or faced his tribals. I don't think I noticed it. I'm trying to cut off this tribal slinger, but it's going to die to my general. My general is going to enact a mission cleanup duty here. At least those slinger bullets mostly missed, or rocks, whatever. It's pretty much chasing time here. I'm gonna second win this society once I can. I don't want to engage anything with it yet until it's fresh. I'm just running out of range. I see the range probably like here, so I'm trying to like juke his slinger unit. But yeah, he does get one volley, but it kind of misses because of the hill. I think it's kind of weird. My slingers now, or my archers are now in position to just push the slingers back. I'm gonna corral them here. Now I just have to do a good job. I'm just trying to hold out for a second wind here. Push the slingers into a corner. Now I get second wind. Now I know I can at least kill this armored minion spear. No one. Bit of a different story. Have to corral it together. But this slinger is now fucked. It's trapped between 2 archers, so it can only run this way pretty much, or it can run this way into the other slinger, which isn't good because it just makes my job a bit easier. Don't want to actually take this fight, obviously, with my archers. I'm just going to push the slinger away, and now 2v1 his unit of mini nobles. Get the charge on the high ground here. Pull through, well not pull through, but knock over the unit and then charge in. My Stadi, again, he's now very tired and I'm fresh, so this should be a pretty solid win for my Stadi. My slingers are, his slinger's gonna die, my archer's just pushing the slinger way out of the fight. Kind of irrelevant now. This Syrian probably shouldn't have came all the way over here, but it's fine. I guess I end up recharging his Nubini nobles. You can see, even now it's kind of close, but he should never win this. Well, the goddess loses a bunch of men to his Nubini nobles, though. But in the end, it's not really going to matter. These constant recharges are just too much. 36 Estadi against 17 Dominion Nobles on my side. I get this recharge as well, just for the morale effect. And now I just say, okay, the only thing I need to do is clean up the slinger, and I should be winning. So you can't even get shots because my archers have done a good job pursuing. And we just 2v1. Our Dominion Spear. He might have won that fight, but again, the cav unit is sufficient here to win. And very close fight. But I think even though it was a close fight, the real thing is, even though I fucked up so many times, I think I missed like 3 or 4 charges. I was in formation attack. I was like blobbing up, not really rotating properly. Even after all that, I still get the win, and that may be indicative that the tides are turning. Really nice kills on some of these guys, but you can see, even though I didn't get good charges, that one Sake Equite charge that he got 2 Pilum volleys into wasn't really worth it in the end for him because my infantry followed up so effectively, and it really messed him up. And his cav didn't really work out that well either, even though he got a couple of catches. He still wasn't able to do that, and then finally that blob where his back was turned to my archers, and my cav was able to just repeatedly cycle charge was just too much. So finally, game 4. Well, maybe finally, haha, there might be game 5. I wonder if there will be. Yeah, game 4. We know what's happening. Same shit in terms of armies. We're just doing that little dance with the Javkov. Same everything. But one thing I was thinking about this time is just like potentially rotating the opposite direction. And the thing is, if you rotate to the right, if his line ends up, if you like start, okay, your line's here, and you rotate this way, he puts the units here to block your flank. These guys are really, really good targets because it's the right side that's exposed to your archers, so those guys will take insane losses. So I was like, okay, let's rotate, and plus there's a little hill there, so maybe I can take this hill. If he's not gonna fight me, I'll go take this hill and then just fight from the hill, and obviously get a little bit of inherited advantage there. So yeah, chasing this cav down, get a couple of kills there, not as much as you may have expected. Okay, so here comes the rush. He backs up again. He realizes, oh, I'm trying to kill his cows, so that's good. He backs up. He's shooting my archers from close range, doing some damage to them, but nothing significant. But you can see I don't back my archers up very far because I know my units are going to be like right in front of them in a second. He moves his general back into range for some reason, and so I just focus fire his general again. Here comes the rush out down the right side, but I realized one thing, I can't actually rush yet because for some reason this avocado core was way out of position. If you see the line of where my infantry are retreating to, it should have been running up to here, but for some reason it ran this way, so I had to run it all the way back in. And that's going to slow down my timing significantly. His general's still taking fire there. He's trying to rotate with me. I'm much faster though. This rotation you can already see I'm like ahead of the curve here. He's trying to come this way. I'm a lot closer, and now I just say, okay, I can kill your slinger unit. And so I do. I take this charge and just charge into his equite as well. He was trying to charge into my extraordinarii, so I bait that out. Now he gets rear charged. This fight is really, really good for me. He got, you know, these units were turning back to face this equite, and they got rear charged by my extraordinarii. And now, okay, here comes the initial engagements. I'm not going to get YOLOs into his infantry, to be fair. So that's decent for him, I guess. And this equite extraordinary does kind of get caught, but I back it out just in time. But the other thing is just like his general, man, taking so much fire, down 30 men to my archers, and finally he retreats, and so I say, okay, I'm just gonna chill. But I'm causing a lot of chaos already, you can see. In a second, there's gonna be 2 Astadi around the flank, and he has almost no support in time for that. So that's gonna be really bad. I'm causing chaos here just by like throwing in my new minions against these routing slingers, trying to route them. This was kind of dumb. But I do get a javelin volley that kills 8 men into his cav. I'm able to pull out here without too much losses. His jav cav are getting shot, and with all this confusion, these new minions just sneak behind. I put them on skirmish mode, and I say, alright guys, just go to town against the general there. Also, another thing is like he backs up out of range here, and you can see I have a Hastati here as well. That's like pushing him out, and I'm getting free rear charges here. My veteran legionnaires can come support this fight. My avocado or my other veteran legionnaires can go kill his armored minion spear. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units all out of the fight. I only have 2 infantry units here, and that's killer. You cannot have so many units out of the fight when you're already in a tough spot here. So you can see like now he kind of javelin his own unit there. His charge against my equites is blocked by the Hastati, and here come the support, the extraordinarii. The other Hastati unit. Now I will get some good support into here for sure, but if you look at the engagements here, this Triaria is about to get supported by a veteran legionnaire into a desert legionnaire, free win. Veteran legionnaire against armored minion spear, free win. Avocadi against desert legionnaire with a recharge from an equite, even freer win. Again, all these units just out of the fight. Here comes the sneaky onto his general, half strength. These guys have enough ammo to easily kill the entire unit. His equite extraordinary get the charge here into his armored desert cav. They will not like that one bit. And the Hastati are in support. The equites are in support. The archers are already wrapping around the flank. And oh man, these rear shots are going to be devastating. So that's really good. Here come the javelin volleys. Yeah, his general's going to die. Any second now. And that should spell just GG once your general's dead in the first like minute of the game. Here, I just commit on this flank a little bit. This was a bit aggressive, I would say. It doesn't get a lot of javelins though. But it will. What I didn't want to happen is like for him to wrap around here and these guys to be out of the fight. So I say, fuck it, let's just commit here. He's splitting up these units, and now there's only 1 desert legionnaire, 1 Numidian noble, and 1 armored Numidian spear. Obviously, I don't have a lot to commit here, but these guys can just hold and tie down 3 rather than having them all run this way. I'm investing only like 1,000 coins, and he's investing almost like 2,500 coins. So this is a really good engagement for me. It's not going to be winning, but it's going to tie down so much material where I'm already absolutely winning these fights. Again, the rear shots are coming in now. These armored minion spears have routed. These fights are about to be super good when my archers start shooting them. The only bad fight here is this one, but as soon as this unit routes, the Evocati will come in here and clean this up. The general is dead. He routed. The general actually died, and I'm going to use that morale penalty to just clean up the slingers who are undefended. And you can see he can't really stabilize right now. He doesn't. There's too much action happening. There's too much problems. He can't like fix them all. He's out of position. His slingers are getting caught. My cav advantage is coming to fruition because he has no support for his cav. So now his cav disadvantage is becoming very apparent where I do have support. Um, Again, his noble minions, all of his infantry are committed forward, 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 forward. But it's not enough because everything collapses behind you. Your infantry is losing. Even here, you can see, like, I even pull out this Astagi. I say, fuck it, like, I can just take this 1v1. I can always go into square with my Trioi, and this guy is just no man's land. There's no point in committing a Hastati here. He goes for my archers, last chance, desperation, but I have a full strength Equite here, and he doesn't even want to try. He goes for a rear charge here. He's finally getting that flank, but look how late it is. Like, everything is already collapsed behind him, and now he's only finally starting to surround me, and even if he surrounds me, again, rear shot city for my archers, so there's not a lot for him to do here. And you can see like my cav is all very healthy. 46 here, 60, 38. This Sakura could take short eye, 43, kind of out of the fight, but it's coming back as soon as it can. His Desert Legionaries with the general dead, and the recharge from these Equites, losing a lot of men, wavering. And now that he double commits here, again, if he stays in that fight, I can just surround him and tie these guys down. But now he tries to come off that, so again, I'm just not going to engage. Keep running away. Win this fight in the center. Again, very healthy infantry everywhere. He has a good Dominion Noble infantry in here, but the archers are just going to clean everything up. The recharges are going to clean everything up. And it's just a matter of time at this point before it's GG. We can just skip getting those rear charges again into his Legionnaires. Charge winning this fight now. So even though he had so much material over on this flank, he was just never able to make anything of it. My material advantage that, obviously comes from the other flank just takes over. I have the engagements first, so I have a lot more units in the place where the fights are happening first. I get to choose when I want to fight over here. He didn't get to choose when he wanted to fight. On this flank, his general's dead. I mean, there's just no hope here, really. And that should dispel ultimate disaster, and really will. So, really close series overall. I thought he played really well. He kept out microing me in a lot of places, or like I wouldn't expect him to see something, so I'd like give a charge order and be like, he's not gonna see that, but he would like bait it out and cycle in really well. So I think he played well, but in the end, not sure about his army. Probably fine, but after you keep losing over and over again, I don't know. Especially that game three. That game three where I made so many mistakes and still managed to win would have led me to try to change it, just try something different. Because he called me off guard the first game, and he got the win. So that would suggest to me try something new, see if you can catch me off guard again. I don't know, do something different. But in the end, he went with the same army, but this time he just got like fully countered, and the general death obviously doesn't help. But the tactics I think on my side were just better in this game, and the execution finally came off without a hiccup. So that's the series, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. More to come. Like I said, my series versus Acer in the third round of the groups or fourth groups, I don't remember. And then also Tila versus Ragnar. Those games haven't happened yet, but when they do, I'll be sure to commentate those as well. Alright, see you in the next one. Peace.